Hello, everybody. I will not take too much of time to say any, introductory words. I'll just go to the point. And I am here to present a very micro perspective as to what I think it's very important in terms of being a brand in Asia for any company which is looking to buy from Asia. And the perspective which I'm putting forth is from an outsourcing company, not from a manufacturing company, but more from an outsourcing company. And I don't call ourselves as a sourcing company anymore because we feel the world has really changed and the customer is looking for somebody who can take care of all their issues, which is related to this outsourcing. They don't want to have their own office. They don't want any QCs. They're designers who travel. They want somebody to be able to do all kind of things for them. So first I will start with what we feel is brand all about. First of all, it is an identity, which of course has to be created. Just by us saying that I want to be a brand, you can't be a brand. It has to be something which has to be created. And it starts with a promise. You have to promise and you have to be able to deliver on that promise. And that's the cornerstone of starting to become a brand. And it has a personality of its own, which touch everybody on an emotional level. Any brand cannot be a brand unless it has some kind of emotional connection. So the emotional connection is very, very important. And with that emotional connection only, you can create enduring relationships because a brand has to have a continuity. And the continuity means that you have enduring relationships. And as I missed out to point out who made this statement. It is Howard Schultz of Starbucks. He said, a great brand raises the bar. It adds a great sense of purpose to the experience. Because at the end of the day, whatever we do, at the end of the day, what counts is what kind of an experience we get. We deal with the people. At the end of the day, it's about the experience. We deliver, we work for a customer. It's all about the experience. What kind of an experience they have with us. If the experience is good, you are already creating something which is good. Now the question arises that why be a brand, As I said, the first very important thing is that the customer is not looking anymore to do sourcing. They are looking for somebody who can do everything possible for them. They just want to be responsible to make sure that they are taking care of their customers at their end. They want somebody else to be taking care of all their needs which comes to the sourcing. That's why we say that the world is changing and the word is not sourcing anymore, it's outsourcing. They want to outsource their QA department, they want to outsource their design department, they want to outsource logistics, everything possible. And of course, the paradigms have shifted, and being cheapest, being fastest, having the best quality is only the starting point for us to bid for the business, because there is enough competition, there are no more quota reasons. People who can scale the business, the people who have the capability of being fastest, quickest, best quality, cheapest, doesn't mean that they will get the business, because the customer has many options, as far as these things are concerned. And business continue to be relationship oriented. I think apparel business is probably the only business, I would say, which is more, goes by the feeling than by the reality. The reality of the things can be quite different, but at the end of the day, what counts is how you feel about the certain company, certain people you deal with. And so it always will be relationship oriented. I mean, you have one customer who you have a good relationship with, the customer moves to the another company, automatically they call you. And this is a very, very important part. And all this thing which I'm talking about need to be communicated, How do you communicate? You only communicate by creating yourself to be a brand. What are the prerequisites, or what are the important things, at least the way we look at it in terms of creating the brand? The first very important thing is the emotional connection. Can the customer identify with us on an emotional level? This is very, very important thing which we have to answer, because just by, having, especially in today's environment, because today it is very, very easy, or rather it is like email. Most of the communication happens through email. People don't really pick up the phone. The people don't really talk. There's not much of video conferencing which happens, all those things. So emotional connection is extremely important. Value, when I say value, it means that the customer really feels that we are saving something for them, Because at the end of the day, when we only talk about the FOBs, then it is a question of, okay, you can give me at $5, the other person can give me at 475, maybe I should go to the person who's giving at 475. But then, how does the buyer put the value to that 475, and 5 is very, very important. And this is what I mean by here, the value. Your value of $5 have to be more than the value of 475 in the eyes of the customer. Accessibility is extremely important. In case of us, the way we look at the accessibility is that the customer should feel that, okay, if they are coming to us as an organization, if we have an issue to do something in India, maybe we can do it in Vietnam, maybe we can do it in Turkey, maybe we can do it in Bangladesh. Basically, they are sure that we are able to find a solution for them in terms of their sourcing requirement. Awareness means, for us at least, that we are aware of what is happening in the market of the customer. We are aware of what is happening in the country where we are operating. And we are also aware of what is happening or what is going to happen, what kind of changes are happening. Like, for example, in today's environment, the supply chain situation is extremely critical. The raw material prices have gone up. The wages are going up everywhere. There's unrest in terms of the increase of the wages, which is happening everywhere. So it is very important for us and to make the customer realize that, yes, we are aware of all these things, and we partner with them to find solution in timely manner so that they don't see the impact of what is going to happen, So when, like, to give you one simple example, when everybody knew that there's going to be increase in the wages in Bangladesh. In fact, the Bangladesh CMs have gone up by 20 to 35%, depending on, which company you're dealing with. So we worked with the customers and with the factories there in advance, where we could fix the CM for a certain period of time by giving written commitments from the customer side, blocking the capacities, and making the people commit. So that is something which you are making an informed decision by being more aware, and which is adding into your being a brand for the customer. And the last part is the relevant differentiation. How do you keep on differentiating yourself is extremely, extremely important. 10 minutes, sir?
Yeah, another 4-5 minutes.
Okay. Now I just want to share with you what this whole thought process of being a brand did for us as a company. But before I do that, I need to share with you what Asmara means. Asmara is an Indonesian word which means love and passion. Because we thought that in this business, if you don't love this business, you don't have passion for this business, you cannot survive. I mean, forget about like doing well, you can't even survive. Then it made us really to look at our attitude, and we really focused from just being a sourcing company to a global outsourcing company. So today we don't compete with any company in India. We actually compete with people like Lee & Fung, because we don't really compete with people like Triberg, because we provide solution to the customer which goes beyond Indian borders. We give them solutions which are where they can say, okay, I'm dealing with one country, one company, but I am making production in maybe 10 different locations. Same thing, one-stop shop, more or less something which I just said. And very important thing is that I think we have really realized that our ability to succeed is going to come to be able to emotionally connect with not only the customer, but also with the supplier. And that's how our organization is geared up. And this is the reason we have a very, very small vendor base, and we really work with them like as a partner. And we look at ourselves as one part of the sourcing triangle, because the sourcing has to be a triangle. There's a customer which is in Europe or in America, then there is whether they call their own office or they call an organization like us, then there's a manufacturer. So this is a complete triangle, where everybody has an equal role to play. And we feel that we really complete that triangle, and which makes the whole sourcing chain work very well. I'll share something about Asmara with everybody, because then I can relate with certain parts of the brand part to what we have done. One part is Asmara as a company was till year 2004 only in Indonesia. And then we really decided that we need to be like a brand. We started expanding, and now we're almost in every part of the sourcing destination. and also close to the customer to understand their need. As I mentioned that, the Asmara, the word means love or passion, and little bit of history. I don't want to go into it too much right now. But this is a very important slide because Asmara is a unique company because it is made up of a lot of, I would say, uh, very highly qualified professionals who are a brand in themselves. So what we have done is actually we have got a lot of people together who have a certain skill set, who have certain reputation, and which has actually helped us a lot in terms of creating a unique brand as Asmara. And it has really helped us to grow very fast. So where in 2004 we were in one location, we are in 10 locations today. We have really grown and we have taken each and every customer from one location to the other location. So all the customers which we work with, they more or less work with us in all the locations where we are. A little bit about our company, we're about 500 people. We grew from 60 people in 2004 to 500 people what we are now. And we do sourcing of about 200 million. I also want to share a quick case study, as a part of what we do, which is very different from most of the other sourcing or outsourcing companies. What we realize is that the customer, one thing is to tell the customer that I do everything, but actually do we do everything is a question mark all the time. In our case, we feel that a customer should feel that we have enough knowledge to take care of their requirements. They should have confidence in us. Not, of course, then only they will be having confidence on the suppliers which we are choosing for them. But it is very, very important for them to have a confidence in us and us to be able to understand what they're doing and to be able to take it not only to within our company, but also to the supplier. So here I just want to share with you what we do for, like, for example, Abercrombie and Fitch, and this is the initiative which we did for them. They were never using, Abercrombie and Fitch is very, very change-oriented. Any style which you do with them will have at least 4 to 5 changes, which goes into the styling. So we worked with them, and then we said, okay, we have to use technology to bring down the time, because this 3 to 4 styles changes was meaning adding about 40 to 45 days in their product development cycle, which is a lot of time, for anybody it is a lot of time. So what we started doing was that we started to make using technology from TukaTech and start giving them a video presentation of the first fit. So instead of giving them the first proto in 14 days, we started giving to them the first one in 2 days, So subsequently, the whole cycle has really changed. And now the customer comes back and say, like, this is actually from the customer's tech pack, where they say, factory should create TukaTech video based on pattern and submit for our review approval prior to submitting first fit sample. So it has become part of the DNA, So this actually, in a way, differentiate us immediately with their other, companies they work with. Because this is a service which is being given to them, and we are actually creating it, we are giving it to them for all the business they're doing with us, whether they do it in India, Bangladesh, wherever they're doing it. So they give us a tech pack, they get a video to go with it, they can look at the video, they can pause, they can give us some comments and so on. So basically I'm sharing this as a small example of how we are constantly doing things to make the differentiation, to make sure that the customer always is thinking about us, yes, okay, these guys are innovative, these guys are always ahead of the game, And that's what makes, as far as we are concerned now, our brand Asmara keep on being on the top of their mind, That's it from my side.